Hey, I'm Luis Fernandez, a reporter, producer here at WRAL in Raleigh. We're going to take you through how we cover breaking news. In Wake County, there was a major car chase that happened in the early afternoon on Wednesday through some really crowded areas. We ended up going live on TV, talking about it, looking at the public safety of it all. Something like that, though, begins right here at the assignment desk. This is Jamila. Jamila, take us through how all of this got started.
Sure. So I heard something about a chase on 87 and South Smithfield Road. I just came across the scanners. Our helicopter was already in the air. So your instincts as an assignment editor is how fast can we get somebody to the scene? So I immediately texted Sky 5, our pilot in the helicopter, and asked them if they could head to a chase. And luckily for us, they were already in the air, leaving from somewhere else. I'm not really sure how fast it was before they got there. I would say probably within 5 to 7 minutes they were on the scene. And it was just exciting because we saw all the things like the vehicle coming off of 87 into some residential areas. So it happened pretty quick. We were very lucky to get the video that we got.
So while that's happening, right, so we have Sky 5, our helicopter here at WRAL that's able to follow the scene. Literally here, let me show you. We have these monitors. We had the Sky 5 video up on them, and we were watching it all unfold, trying to figure out what exactly was happening, how it was all coming together. So Jamila, in that kind of process, take us through how a newsroom handles breaking news. We have all the elements up, the video, we're looking at all this. What were some of the next conversations that were happening?
Sure. So we kind of base how we respond to breaking news on what we're seeing. So thankfully, Sky 5 was in the air. We were kind of seeing the dramatic, the play-by-play of the chase. And so our news director and our managing editor, they came out of their offices, saw what was going on, and they decided that we were going to do that live cut-in. So you kind of decide which direction you're going to go into based on what you're seeing. If this had been, he pulled over and was arrested, we likely would not have done a cut-in. So you kind of base it on a lot of what you're seeing. But another thing for us as assignment editors, we gauge it based off of what we can hear on the scanners. Like if the officers or deputies are worked up, are they excited? Are their voices elevated? Are they calm? So that kind of helps us determine how serious or not serious the situation is.
Right, and I think that's an important part, right? The serious versus the not serious nature of this, because in a newsroom, we cover what's happening, right? We're monitoring the radio traffic, we're reaching out to officials, we're gathering a video, we're doing all that stuff. But in this element in particular, what we did that was different was we go live on television during a time when we're not normally live on television. It was seriousness of what's going on. Jamila mentioned that. I think that's important here too, because in a newsroom, right, we're covering what is happening in our community, right? We're gathering video, we're reaching out to sources, we're listening to radio scanners, we're putting together stories over the course of an afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it might be. But something that we did different with this car chase than we normally would do is we went live on television during a time when we normally would not be live on television. It was 1:45 on our main channel, WRAL. Now, part of the reason why we did that was because of public safety. When we were sitting here watching this video, assessing what Sky 5 was seeing through the helicopter, we saw, hey, this person is speeding. According to Broadcastify Radio, the driver was going upwards of 100 miles an hour. So the driver was speeding through busy highways, busy side streets, all of this stuff. And you're watching the driver go through intersections and nearly hit people over and over again. So this becomes not just wow, this is a dramatic video, this is an interesting piece of news that is happening. It becomes a public safety thing. You may be familiar with severe thunderstorm warnings, severe tornado warnings, when the meteorologist goes on TV and talks about it. Part of the reason why they're doing that is because it's public safety. So in this situation, we're emphasizing the public safety. We're covering what's happening. We're doing everything we can to not just say, hey, maybe you're living in Durham County and you're like, oh, wow, this big piece of news is happening. No, what if you're living in Knightdale where this chase is happening? We want to make sure you are aware of what's going on. So what ends up happening essentially at the end is we go on TV, we talk through what happens. The suspect eventually did crash, gets out of the car and runs into a local establishment, 101 Kitchen. And that's where they are eventually apprehended. So we took everyone through that series of events. And now We'll get prepared for the rest of our newscast, where we'll talk with some people who were involved, who were hit by the car speeding through. We'll go through what officials say. We'll gather all this content. We'll tell the story. So that's just a little bit behind the scenes of how something like this happened, covering breaking news.
I believe we have video of the initial crash here that caused the suspect to get out of their car. I believe we're going to be seeing that video now. This white SUV making their way through. They clip that car there, spin, move over the median onto the opposite side of traffic. And then you're going to see the suspect get out of the car and then run, making their way off of the road you're seeing there. Now, this is the suspect we were referring to that made their way into that 101 Kitchen store, Widewater Shopping Center in Knightdale. This is a law enforcement chase that ended in a crash in Wake County. This happened, the video that you're watching now of the suspect, this happened about 5 minutes ago or so. Just in the past 5 to 10 minutes, that suspect has been inside that 101 Kitchen store. You see the suspect running across and into that Widewater Shopping Center. Now, once again, we're working to learn more information. This chase started in the past 15 to 20 minutes. Where we first picked up was about I-87 near South Smithfield Road. As you see the suspect making their way into this building that you now see here. A lot of officials here on the monitor. The monitor itself, it's a little bit darker. There we go as we take it full. You see, I believe that we have sheriff's officers, we have police officers. This is happening near Knightdale, or in Knightdale, in Wake County.